Hello, boys and girls. Good to see you again. Today is Monday, April 13th. We've got several things I want to do today, so I want you to think about the Neblin Night Code of Honor, say it in your head, and we're going to move on. It's a special day today because I'm going to have a special guest person here today. But this book goes along with what we're going to do. How do you lift a lion? Do you remember we talked about that a little bit in launch? Hopefully these things will seem familiar to you. Did you ever try to lift a lion? You'd have to be awfully strong. It's because of the force of gravity. Remember we talked about gravity. Gravity pulls objects downward. When that object is as massive as a lion, it pulls pretty hard. With a lever, you can lift a heavy weight with much less effort. There's your load side. Remember this? We talked about the fulcrum and the force side. The main part of a lever is a bar of rod which balances or pivots on the fulcrum. If the force side is longer than the load side, you will have what's called leverage. Leverage adds force to your own strength. With a force side this long, you can lift a lion. Now, do you suppose you could lift 10 lions? The longer the force side is compared to the load side, the more leverage you will have. So if you had a lever with a handle this long, look how long that is, maybe you could lift them a little. Did you ever try to pull a panda on a pallet? This is a pallet. It's like a wood thing. A lot of times you see them at a grocery store. It would be pretty hard. Gravity is pulling down on that panda, and there's also what's called friction between the ground and the pallet. Friction or resistance happens when two surfaces rub together. If you try to rub your hands together really hard, that's a form of friction. The more weight pushing on the surfaces, the more friction there is. If you put wheels on your pallet, there would be less friction, and you wouldn't have to pull quite so hard. Wagon wheels are mounted on axles. At the wheel center is a bearing which turns on the axle. A bearing's inside surface is smooth, so it makes very little friction. Oiling a bearing's inside surface makes it slippery, so it has even less friction. This is called lubrication. Wheels with bearings make much less friction than pallet bottoms. That's why you can pull the panda now, even though he's just as heavy. If you begin to go downhill, gravity takes over to pull your load. Gravity not only pulls objects straight down, it pulls them down slopes. So here's your pull of gravity, the direction of the object being pulled by gravity. So now that you don't have to pull, you could carry a much bigger load. Now you could carry a pyramid of pandas, and the steeper the slope, the faster gravity will make you go. If the slope began to get very steep, you'd probably wish you had more friction to slow you down. Here's a cool pages here. Did you ever try to deliver a big basket of bananas to a baboon birthday party? It would be mighty heavy. These are fun pages. With pulleys, it would be much easier to lift. See the pulley there? A pulley has a wheel with a groove around it to hold a rope. When you lift with one pulley, your lifting strength stays the same. Here shows the direction of your force. But the direction of force is changed. With two pulleys, your lifting strength is doubled. You'll use twice as much rope, but you can also lift twice the load. Yes, pulleys make it much easier to deliver a big basket of bananas to a baboon birthday party. And here's the birthday party. Pretty neat, huh? But perhaps a smaller basket would have been better. All right, I hope you enjoyed that story. Now, I have a guest person with me, and this person is my sister. Her name, we're going to go by Mrs. G. She has some really cool experiments to show you that you could possibly try at home. Remember to ask your parents if it's okay before you do this.
Hi, I'm Mrs. G, and I'm so excited to be here. I know you've been sitting around a lot and want some things to do, so I want you to think, where have I seen a lever before? Where have I seen a pulley? How can I make one for myself? So I've got some ideas to get you started, okay? So one thing you can do is you get a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll or just something like this and some yarn. You might want to tie a cup on the bottom. Now, as I go like this, I'm going to roll this up. And it's going to, see how we're rolling it here? This is a pulley, right? I don't have anything in there right now. You could do a lot of fun things with this. Maybe you want to make it with your mom or your dad or someone and have races to see who can pull it up the fastest. Or something fun like that. Or you could see how much weight you could put in there. Maybe it's just some color crayons or something you put in there. You can make this. This is just a good way to start with one. Another pulley that is kind of different, is funicular pulley. It starts with the word fun. Okay, it's something like this. And maybe you've seen something like this before. For this one, I had some yarn again. You can use string. You can even use dental floss if you want to. And I cut some straws a little, and then I have these cups. And I taped the cups to this after I put it through here. You have to put the yarn through the straw, and then you tape it up somewhere. And then you put these cups, and you put it through here so it makes a circle. A circle of yarn, right? Okay, so then when you go like this and pull on one, look what happens. One goes up and one goes down. And then you can do the same thing again. And that's one kind of pulley. There are so many different ways you can make pulleys. But that's just an idea to get you started, okay? Another thing, let's see. Let's talk about levers. Did you know that, let's do this easy one first. One kind of lever is a catapult. Okay. You can actually take, I have some little palms here. You would want to use cotton balls. Put it on the spoon. Here's my fulcrum, okay? And we're going to go like this. I don't think you saw that go, but that is one. You can make a more complicated one like this one. This is our example. I'm going to show you how it works first, and then I'm going to show you how to make it. You might need help with this one. Can you see that? Like that. In order to do that, you need 7 craft sticks. So you take and stack up the 5 like this. See how that's, and then you put a rubber band around them. Then you put that aside. And then you're going to take 2 sticks like this, and you're going to put a rubber band around that, but leave this side open, like that, because you're going to take and put that, just like the sample, you're going to slide that in there like this. See that? You're going to slide it in. Okay. Now, it's going to flip and flop all over the place unless you put another rubber band, which I don't know where one is right there. What?
Right there by the cord.
Oh, right here. It's stuck under the computer. And then what I like to do is I like to then secure it around all the sticks to make sure it stays on. And this takes some time and it takes some patience, so be patient when you're doing it. Just make sure it gets around all of them so that it stays on here really nice, okay? And it's on there now. Now you can use it like this. It's kind of hard, but what I like to do is slide a spoon in. Slide the spoon in. How are you doing, camera lady? Slide the spoon in. Then again, we get our palms. You go like this, and then you got it done. Oh, that one fell off the thing. Gotta try again.
The fun of science. You can make mistakes.
Oh, it doesn't want to stay on there. Okay.
Whoa!
So you can make it any way you want like that. Yeah, it went far away. Then if you want to get really, really fancy, you can make a pulley and a lever in one machine. This is just something really silly that we came up with. Didn't we? Yes, I got a spoon and I made a little slit in here and a little slit on the other side. As you can see, this is probably going to be my lever on the bottom, right? Up here is my pulley. I actually just tied a paper clip onto some yarn, and I'm going to turn this. See how this is a pulley? I'm going to even pull it from over here, twist it from over here. Going to bring my paper clip all the way up. Because the goal, this is not going to do it this way. Scooch it out a little bit more than I did. Let's try that again. All right, I'm cheating a little bit here.
It's okay.
because it doesn't want to go on there very good. There we go. See how that brought that paper clip up? Okay, and once it's up there, you can put the paper clip onto the spoon like this. And then you can take and see if you can get that paper clip into the cup. Same thing we did before. Think it'll work? Oh, almost. How many times? Should we try it a couple of times? Get your finger out of the way. So oh, this worked before. One more. Oh, let me push this in a little bit. And you know what? Maybe we need to make some adjustments. What do you think, Mrs. Weinmann?
Yep, that's what you have to do. Trial and error. Try something
Put
different
that
if one
in
doesn't work.
further. Oh, you think I can get that in there? I can't, but I bet you can.